Do you enjoy going to Moulin Rouge as much as we do? Better yet, do you like going to concerts and sporting events?
SeatGeek helps people easily purchase tickets to these kind of events and unites people like you and us through live entertainment.
And things just got easier for you. As proud partners of SeatGeek, you can use our exclusive promo code CANCAN10 and you'll get $10 off of any purchase that is $250 or over.
Hey Lily, you've been eyeing up that can seat for a while now.
You're so right, Jules. I think I'm gonna go purchase it right now and use our code for a discount. Do you want to join?
Hell yeah.
Again, that's CANCAN10 to get $10 off of any purchase that is $250 or over. Only valid for your first purchase. Hi guys, we're back. Welcome to Can Talks with Lily and Jules. This is episode 11. Jules is back from London.
I'm back. Very jet lagged. But I am back and I look terrible today. Oh my gosh, I slept so much yesterday and today, but we are back.
Jules fell asleep on FaceTime last night.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even realize. And then I woke up this morning to like loads of messages. And there was a screenshot of me sleeping on the. I was like, I didn't. Yeah, I was literally talking and just. And then I woke up and I wasn't talking anymore. So I just went. That was fun. It's always a good one.
We love
It's
it.
when you know you're tired. Hey, at
Exactly.
least I didn't snore.
That's true. So, Jules, you saw Rouge on the West End.
I did. It was amazing. Um, So good. I saw it twice on the West End. I was really lucky enough to go. I saw four shows on the West End altogether, and two of them were Rouge. And it was brilliant. I got to sit orchestra for one of them, and then I did standing room for the other. It was so good. The UK cast is so talented. Oh my goodness, they are unbelievably so talented. And the second time I went, there was a lot of understudies on, and I love me my
Oh,
understudies. Yeah, they're wickedly talented. It's so fun seeing the show on a different stage as well. Like the stage is a little bit smaller at Piccadilly, it seems like. Um, so it's also fun like watching and being like, oh, that's different to Broadway and that like how they do the backflip. And if anyone knows me, I
do
still
they
have very strong
still
feelings
say?
about the backflip.
Do they still say Lima, Ohio?
Yeah.
Love it. I
Um,
love
and
it.
then and then they do the Satine does the no, sorry, not Satine. I would say Eric. That's not Zidler. Sorry, Eric Zidler. Zidler still does the "you go" bit. When he's like, "You go." Yeah. So there's definitely some like different things that are a little bit different to Broadway, like just little mannerisms.
And the
But it was
backflip.
great. The backflip. Can't forget the backflip. Um,
Hashtag bring it back to Broadway.
Hashtag bring it back. Hashtag bring it back. Um, so it was so nice seeing it again. I was like, oh, I miss this. But it was great. No, they're insanely talented, the UK crew, and really, really loved it. So we got to stage door and meet a few people. But no, I love being back in London and being on the West End. One thing I will say is I do like the West End's a bit cheaper than Broadway. Uh, I paid $25 for one of my tickets to Rouge, so and like when I saw Cruel Intentions, I think I paid like $40 and we had good seats. So yeah, I don't miss the really expensive Broadway prices. Sorry, not sorry for saying that. But yeah, so it was fun. It was nice to have a little break. We're back and we're back to recording because so much to do and so much
Yes.
time.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of announcements. So, well, obviously we got Ricky Rojas back.
Ricky is back. That one, I say it shocked me. It didn't shock me. Um, Not like in a bad way, but like,
Yeah,
you always kind of know, like, it's never goodbye at the Rouge.
yeah.
So you always know people are gonna come back.
I think what
But like,
shocked me even like that shocked me about that was like my friend. I was literally like watching like they have like his live like compilations of his lives on YouTube And it's just all of the crazy moments. It's Robin peeing her pants and Aaron Tveit's forehead veins, all of that. And I was like, oh, I miss Ricky. And I'm texting my friend, oh, I miss Ricky. And I was just like, if he comes back, I'm buying my theater ticket now. You know what I mean? And then the next morning, my friend texted me and I woke up to 11 texts from her and she's like, oh my God. And he was back. I was like, what? So that was what was most shocking for me. I was like,
I
oh,
think for me, like I said, you always know he's gonna come back, but like
he loves that
I
show
just didn't
too. He
I didn't
does love theater
realize
ticket.
I knew Gabe was leaving because I had asked Gabe, like, do you know when you're leaving? And he wouldn't tell me, but he said, I have a leave date. And then like I didn't expect it to be so soon. So I was a bit like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay. I mean, I love my Ricky. I love Gabe too, and I love them all. So I'm definitely still a little bit upset about Gabe leaving because Gabe was such a powerhouse, but I'm also really happy to have uh Ricky back so we know that Santiago is in good hands and has been in good hands.
Yeah.
So
And we get the Ricky Snob lives.
Ricky Snobs, I do love those lives. And Ricky Live,
Ricky Live
July
Live.
15th. Tickets are nearly sold out. I bet you by the time this episode comes out, tickets will be sold out. Unfortunately,
But
I cannot make it.
he will be live streaming it online. So online tickets are
Mhm.
also available. I don't know if they're available yet, but does he usually
I've not
do?
looked.
I don't know. I haven't
Yeah,
looked.
last time he did. Last time he did live stream, and that was great.
Yeah, he said
Um,
he was going to do it on his live today. He said he was going to live stream it as well, but I'm not sure if like he
you
does
know
like
what's really
batches of
great about
tickets,
that?
but
Because last time we did a Ricky live, I was like going to buy my live stream ticket and it didn't go through. So I pressed it again. It didn't go through and I
oh
pressed it again. I got
no.
and didn't go through. So I pressed it again. I bought four tickets to Ricky Live and I was like, and they said it didn't go through. So I get four emails. I get like $100 out of my bank account. I'm like, what the hell? I gave tickets away. I was like, does anyone want a live streaming ticket to Ricky? Because I bought four. I was like, I only need one. I don't need four. So I gave like the other
You
three
got to clone
away.
yourself.
Yeah, because it just said it wasn't going through. And the next thing I know, I get like these emails. Congratulations, you bought tickets for Ricky Live. Congratulations, you bought. I was like, what? What? And there's no refunds. So I was like, I've just
Oh
spent
no.
$100 on this. And I was like, honestly, whoever wants it, please just take them.
That sounds like me in July. It wasn't as bad as like buying something, but I was trying to make a reservation. And I tried to like keep changing the number of people, but it kept saying like I kept changing it to three, but then it kept saying like your table for two has been reserved. I was like, no, I want three. Oh my God. And so then I ended up canceling the reservation, creating it again, and then confirming it like five times. And I'm
It
sure,
is
I'm sure that bar was just like, was she okay?
technology,
Clearly, I
man.
wasn't okay, but you know. Um, anyway, Jules,
Technology.
do you have any other announcements?
Oh, German production. The original cast of the German production take their final bow tomorrow. New cast is incoming. Um, which is great. New cast. We love new cast, but also it's kind of sad that the cast is leaving. The current cast is leaving. But they've had a great run. They've had an amazing run. So we wish them best. And whatever they do next. I think that's right now. That's all I think that's everything
I
right
think
now. I
that's
bet
all
you
I
I'm
can
missing
remember.
something,
Yeah,
but
we're
you know
probably
what?
missing something.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it next week.
Yeah, next time. All right, so today's episode is another deep dive, but this time we're going over to Satine Weenie and we're doing a deep dive for her. It's really exciting. I was sat on the plane from London, right? Because you don't get like great Wi-Fi on planes. You get like
I
mediocre
can she
Wi-Fi.
she sent me a screenshot of the notes and her phone's in airplane mode. I was like, oh, she wrote this on the plane.
Yeah, so I'm just there like I'm bored. It's a long flight, and I'm just there I'm like, let me just write down notes. Yeah, so the whole thing's in airplane mode. It's great. Anyway, so this is Satine Deep Dive. Let's get into it. Do you want me to start or would you like to start?
Um, whichever one. I
Okay,
guess
I'm gonna start.
yeah.
Um,
I was like, I don't know.
I'll make your mind up for you.
I'm
Okay,
a
so
Gemini. I'm indecisive.
can't relate. I'm a Taurus. Um, it's my birthday soon. Yay! Everyone wish me
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sorry. Sorry, it's so off topic, scatterbrain. Here we go. So, my first question is like, who is Satine? Like, who is she? Obviously, we know she is, she's a prostitute, basically. Um, we know she lives in an elephant. She's in Paris,
Subtle, I know, but it amuses me.
right? She lives in Paris, and we know that she's, you know, this woman who's basically an escort.
We
So,
also know she's the sparkling diamond,
yeah.
or is known as the
So,
sparkling diamond.
so basically, I think the first question we can really say, yeah, who is the team? But like, so where is she from? Do you think she's, I guess
Hmm.
I want to say that she is probably from Paris.
Yeah, I think so.
I would say
Um,
she's from Paris. Um, yeah, I mean,
I mean, she's not from Lima, Ohio, so
she's definitely not from Lower Ohio. And then if she was, I'd be questioning what is happening in Lima,
in
Ohio
Ohio.
for so many people to leave. Yeah, I think that's like the thing. So like we know that she's a good possibility she's from Paris or Montmartre or somewhere in that realm of France. But I really do think it's Paris because like in the movie and stuff, they kind of mentioned about how like I don't know, she was turning tricks since she was 13, blah 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 blah. I feel like she was doing it in that area and that's how they spotted her.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's my first question. Lily, please keep going.
Yeah, so how old do you think Satine is?
I want to say I want to say she's in her 30s because
Me too.
when you get like to that age, I mean, I'm only in my mid 20s, so it's kind of hard for me to say how you feel when you're in your 30s, but
Hmm.
like, they make a lot of comments about how like, oh, you're not getting any younger and like, oh, we're not as young as we used to be. So, I don't know, maybe I would like to say maybe 30s. I wouldn't say she's anything higher than that.
Yeah, I want to say she's in her 30s as well because I think like, well, I mean, yeah, she's been like turning tricks since she was 13, but like as far as being a part of, the Moulin Rouge and the nightclub, it seems like she's a little bit like experienced in that kind of world, if that makes sense. Like very inexperienced in love and like how that kind of works, but and like I guess the outside world, but in that kind of bubble, she seems very wise. And not kind of like Christian where he's, just exploring and very naive and doesn't really understand things. Like you can tell she stands her ground. She's kind of this strong woman who even kind of says like, "You haven't lived my life," and she just she's kind of this powerful woman, in a way, even though yes, she is a prostitute.
Hmm. No, I agree. I think she's very like I think she's kind of like street smart as well because
Yeah.
like she like they say in the thing, her father had her turning tricks at 13. She was on the street, like all this. I think she definitely has some smarts about her, and you can see that as well in the way she talks to Christian, even the way she like talks to Duke to the Duke, and like it's said before, it's such a different time back then. 1899
Yeah.
was so different for women than it is now. And I think women, being like that was quite different, challenging people. And she challenged people. And back then, I think women were like basically, it was a whole time where women were just kind of told to like shut up and like, whatever.
The "no one owns
So yeah,
me,"
she's definitely
that
the no one
that
owns me.
line. Yeah.
That's a big moment, I think. Because back in those days, it definitely was like ownership. Um, yeah, that's a good one. So my question is, about her dad again. Well, her parents. So, did her mother like die? Did she leave? Because I think that she didn't grow up with like a mother figure. So, again, something could have happened again back in 18 whatever, whenever she was born, maybe 18 like 70 or whatever. We know that medical stuff wasn't as advanced as it is now. Like, did her mother die at childbirth? Like, that was very common, things like septicemia and all that. Blood poisoning, if anyone doesn't know what that means. Um, was very common within like births back a long time ago. So, like, did she ever have a mother figure in her life? Did she have that? We can see her dad clearly was like kind of pimping her out,
Yeah.
really, at such a young age.
Yeah.
But like Toulouse says, but she like worked her way up and all this. So clearly she didn't have that figure in her life, any parental figure in her life to help her. And her dad was basically like, "You're going to become a prostitute." Lovely. What a lovely thing.
I don't know what would have happened to her mom, but I definitely like agree with you. I don't think she was very present. Because like as we kind of said before, it was a different time. Women's rights weren't really a thing. They were it was all just kind of about, shutting up and doing whatever the men told you to do. And it definitely shows kind of like, Satine's father pimping her out. And also, she's young, she's 13. She doesn't maybe really know what's happening. The brain really hasn't fully developed at that age. Um, and so I definitely think like it was a combination of being young, but like also her dad, just kind of being the man of the household, and, her having to just kind of follow along with that. Um, very, very sad to think about, but that was the time back then, unfortunately.
Yeah, morals were so different, Um, it's and that was such a common thing, like little history, like back in those times, like the 1800s, prostitution was so big, like in London and Paris, like all of these places. It was such a big thing for women to do. Compared to now, you don't really hear, it's illegal over here in the States and, like that. But what it used to be like was crazy. And it seemed like just reading history and reading stuff like this, it was such a big part of culture that that's what women did.
Yeah,
Um,
I think like even because like, we had Andrew on and James on, who played the Duke. And I don't remember, it might have been Andrew who said it, but like it was, different times back then. And like, we keep kind of talking about this whole like his wording of saying like, you're my mistress. Is the Duke married? Is it like an arranged marriage thing? And it's Satine might not be able to fully be with the Duke because of social status. And so yeah, um, very, very, very different to what it is today. But kind of like a little bit off track here, but like in Hamilton, they had like slavery, and obviously like it's bad. We don't support that now. But back in the day, that was almost the social norm. Um, and it's kind of the same thing with Rouge. It's like we support women's rights over here in today's time, in today's society. At least we hope we support women's rights. But yeah, back in the day, back in that time in society, it was the norm to prostitution was the norm, pimping somebody out was the norm.
really interesting fact. I went to Italy recently and I went to Pompeii and they found, bear in mind, Pompeii was in 79 AD. They actually uncovered a brothel
Oh my
that
god.
was there. So
Oh,
prostitution's been going on for a long
wow.
time.
Really long time.
Sorry, it's so off topic. Okay.
No, that is an interesting fact because
Right?
like, wow.
And we're getting down and dirty even when the volcano was erupted. Okay, so I'm skipping one question because I'm going to come back to that. But one of my other question was, has she been pimped out by Zidler? And I want to say yes.
Me
And
too. I was gonna.
everyone loves Zidler, yes. But if you look at the reality of it, the whole part of this show is basically at the beginning, it's, the Duke is asking about her. She's there for the Duke. Obviously, there's a mix up, but to me, Zidler basically, the way he talks, he's pimping her out like, hey, I'm gonna get Satine to come to your dressing room and you guys can sleep together and you know, it's it's basically pimping her out. Like,
Yeah.
and God knows if he's done this to other men. Like, I keep coming back to this because it's such an important bit, but in the movie, she says, when she falls in love with Christian and Zidler complains about it, she said she was like, I've always I don't know the exact quote, so please don't quote me on this, but she basically says that like, um, you've only like shown me what people are like worth paying for me, kind of thing. Like, what kind of leads me to think like Ziedler is basically just like, oh, sleep with this guy, and oh, this goes to this guy and be like, oh, Satine, she's the star of the show, and she'll come to your dressing room or whatever, you know?
Right.
But that's just,
No, I
I
agree
think
because
that's
yeah, like I mean, we always talk about like who's the villain of the story, the villain.
well,
Um,
James thinks it's Satine, so.
it's I mean, I think well, I mean, that's one of the honestly one of the reasons why I love this show just in general because like I don't think each character has like their good moments, each character has their flaws. Some might be a little bit bigger than others, the Duke, but I think that each character does have those moments where it's just kind of like, okay, that's a little icky to me. With Zietler, I personally think that he's most of the villain or the most quote unquote toxic. I hate using that word, but like I do think that he's a little bit of the villain in the story because if you think about it, I mean, like Jules said, we all love Zietler. He's really fun and he interacts with the audience and it's great and he's the ringmaster, he's the guy that's like full of energy, and he's really really fun, but like also he's a very complex character because he has the Rouge going bankrupt. That's his business and he's going to do anything to keep that business afloat. And he thinks that it's in the best interest of his employees, his actors, and the people that work at the Rouge, that the Duke invests, so they can keep the business afloat, that they're not back on the streets again. But I don't think he fully rationalizes that maybe it's for the best. Um, because like as you said, like Satine is like she loves Christian, and I don't think Zeller really. I think he understands it, but he doesn't listen to
Well, he
to
says,
that.
doesn't he? He goes, "We're creatures of the underworld. We can't
We can't
afford to
afford to
love."
love. Exactly. So it's like, and then like with that happening, like Satine's sick, and he's still like yelling at her like you're gonna be with the Duke, and he's really forcing her to be with the Duke even though that is not what she wants or may not be what she wants. And then after that he's like, leave Christian to me, I know what to do. Goes to Christian's home and it's just like, you need to forget about Satine, introduces the absinthe, and then everybody knows what happens after that. So that is my rant.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of a bit selfish, I think, a little bit, because,
Yeah.
you know, the whole Act Two rehearsal scene happens with an absolute cluster. Everyone knows it's like, oh, worst rehearsal in theatrical history. Um, and she's sick. Everyone knows she's, like, obviously no one really knows that she's like dying right now, but like people can tell she's been a bit like, under the
From
weather.
the first
And then
performance,
on the first
yeah,
performance. Um, and then she's coughing and he's like, well, you're gonna go put that dress on and give the performance of your life. Like, and the Lady M's are like, what the hell,
like
I
Goodness,
think it's a
she
little bit
is coughing
selfish.
blood over
Yeah.
here. Like,
I think it's definitely he was doing it for like himself, like a bit selfish, like, well, he wants some money and for the Duke and all this. Um, I don't know. He acts like he has Satine's best interests at heart, but I don't think he does. However, moving forth, do I think Satine is all innocent? No, of
no,
course not. I think she has some red flags too. I think she's um in a way, I don't know, I feel like you're old enough to know what's right and what's wrong. And yes, she's probably, she's infatuated with Christian and then, like James said, she was, going with, she was going with two different people and like messing everybody around. It was a little bit
which I
like,
would like to
okay.
say it's not bad to like be in situationships, date around, whatever. But communication is a very big part of that. You must
Yeah.
communicate, and Satine decided to let it be a secret
Yeah, and let it
and
be a secret and
not
basically
tell
like
anyone.
yeah, not telling anyone, and then it comes out in that rehearsal, and it's like, whoa. Um, I don't know. I think,
But also, all of the other employees knew,
oh
and
yeah, that
Zidler.
was always a bit awkward.
So that's
Um,
what makes it really awkward.
yeah, and it's this. I don't know. I think she was also confused though. I think
Yeah,
definitely she was confused because she has always been told that people need to pay for her, and then she meets a guy who actually like wants to be with her and doesn't care about paying for her or doesn't care about sex and loves her for her.
it's kind of like what Andrew said. And like, because like he said that it's that expectation versus reality. It's like she expected a life with the Duke and being wealthy and like having a home and having this life with the Duke, but the reality was that she was swept away by Christian, and it's something that she had never expected to happen.
Well, like he said, he tells her like, I want your heart and all this, and basically kind of he doesn't really say he loves her, but he's saying the stuff.
Right.
She doesn't say it back. Like he said, she just puts on the clothes.
Yeah.
Whereas with like,
He never says I
Christian,
love you too, right? Like the Duke never says I love I mean, I want your heart,
mm-mm,
but like no,
no.
not the I
But
love you.
Christian, the only thing he really ever says is like, I want your heart and all that kind of stuff. But he never actually says, I love you.
Hmm.
But Christian, I mean, Christian,
With his
writes,
songs.
they have the songs together. That Come What May song is like such a big powerhouse ballad. And all this. So you can definitely see she kind of makes up her mind. But Harold decided to go behind everyone's bloody back and sign this thing saying negotiation.
Negotiation.
Um, yeah, negotiation. If you know, you know. I love that when Declan Bennett used to say that. But goes behind everyone's back and signs this thing saying like, Satine belongs to him, and what is it he says? He goes, and if she should ever disappoint me, you'll all be on the streets like the whores you are.
Yeah.
So he's also facing that. So he's like, well, she's got to go do her job, but he doesn't understand that like she's in love. And
And
she's like,
she's
I don't want
sick.
to do this anymore. And she's sick. Um, but yeah, so rant over.
That's a
Um,
Zidler rant.
Zidler rant. We'll get more into that on Hill's deep dive. I have a
Ooh.
few bones to pick with him. Anyway, next question.
Okay. So, what has her experience been like on the streets before the Rouge? What do you think, Jules?
I think she was honestly, 13 is such a young age.
Yeah.
That's, you're just turning a teen. Again, it's different back then, school was different, all that kind of stuff. But still, like, it probably wasn't easy. It's probably quite scary, especially at such a young age, being involved with men who are probably way older than you and, um, you know, you're vulnerable. And I think she probably struggled.
Yeah.
But, like Toulouse said, she, like, built her way up, and I think she did. Like after a while, you know, she built her way up to being where she is. Um, and then got like, you know, she met these people at the Rouge, you know, and became who she became. But I think she definitely probably, I think it was probably hard times, being on the street and turning tricks and doing all that at such a young
Yeah.
age.
Yeah. I
13
mean,
is,
13. Oh, yeah. 13 was like, yeah. I'm trying to think of like myself at 13, just,
I know,
you know?
it's, yeah, it's crazy because 13 is such a big age, really, because you
Hmm.
just turned a teenager. You're still a child though.
You're still a
You're still a
child.
child,
Yeah, you're
and
still a minor.
you're on the streets of Paris, and people, anyone knows
I
this,
mean, even
people,
18 at this point is like a young, considered a
yeah,
young age. So imagine, 18 being a young age, then imagine 13,
yeah, most
It
definitely.
makes me think of
And
like the Olympics, like well, not like I've they've gotten a little better, but like back in the day, like they used to gymnastics specifically used to use like the 12, 13-year olds and train them
um,
because they were
there's
at their peak.
there was a
Yeah.
swimmer. There is still a swimmer. He's still a swimmer. Tom Daly, he's British and he's a diver actually, sorry. He went to Beijing at 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very young, very young. Very good diver, I will say.
Very good, but also
but that's so
very
young, you know,
young to train and like
to do
represent
something
your
like
country.
yeah, something like that. But yeah, no, I think she definitely it probably wasn't easy.
Yeah.
That's
Also, well, I mean, street performing in general is just, you know,
I mean, but
not an
even just
easy
prosti
route in
prostitution
prostitution. Yeah.
at such a young age is horrible, and you and I both know that people aren't nice. There's
No.
some real nasty people
Yeah.
out there. Um, and again, it's so different back then. The police weren't like it was now, and I mean, look at the same time that's going on. Freaking Jack the Ripper was popping over in London, killing people. You
Yeah.
know, well, a few years before that, but still, you know, it was so life was different. But I think, yeah, I think life on the streets of her was probably really difficult. I think it wasn't all, you know, I think it was hard and but I think she also grew really strong from it.
Yeah.
And you know, they always say that like hard times make you stronger. And
Hmm.
I think she did, but at the beginning I think it must have been really
Yeah.
tough.
And as I kind of said before, like, 13 is like obviously you good.
Sorry, my knee.
It felt honestly. But as I said before, like 13 is a young age, but like also your brain hasn't fully developed. You're not an adult. So she also might have not understood what was going on and what her life was. And that's also a big factor of probably that being very hard to grasp of like it's very confusing as well because she doesn't know what's right and what's wrong at that point. And then as you said, like it made her stronger because I think that's when she kind of knew like what was right and what was wrong. And she kind of she began to understand a little bit about, and especially with Christian in her life loving her for her. um she was kind of like, oh, so this is what my life could have been.
Yeah, I don't think she's naive or anything because you know Christian's kind of naive, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's quite young,
Yeah.
dumb, and naive. I don't think Satine was, you know,
She just
her
was in a bubble, you know.
yeah, she was
She
in a
was in a bubble.
predicament between a rock and a hard place, is what I like
Hmm.
to say. She was, you know, she'd never had probably that feeling before, never really had, you know, and what is it they say in Roxanne feelings I can't fight? Is that what it is? Yeah, feelings I can't fight. So
Feelings, yeah.
yeah,
Again.
so like
I have to like sing it.
she's probably yeah, like it's probably really awkward. Not awkward, but like probably like it's a weird time for her. She's like, wow, here I am in my 30s and I've never experienced this because all I've been used to is basically just having to sleep with these men for money.
Yeah. I think that's like also like what's so interesting about her storyline as well, is in like with Christian and the Duke, and all these love stories, kind of love triangle, obviously. But I think she doesn't know what a life is outside of the Moulin Rouge, because she's never experienced a life outside of the Moulin Rouge. So you have Christian on one hand, um, no money at all, but just live freely and see what happens, kind of a thing. Just love each other, and then you have a pretty much set life. We don't really think it's like love, but it is this kind of set life that she has with money, wardrobe, a chateau, a house, and it's kind of that back and forth of like, I want to be free, but I also really like the money. And like you said, like I don't think she's naive really, but she just is a little bit inexperienced in life outside of her little rouge bubble.
Well, yeah, and also, she says about that in the show. She, this is the only family she has, and she's like these people, and they love her for who she is, and that, like she said, she's like, I can't live on my body and my looks forever. This might be my only way out. And because, like I said, she came into the Moulin Rouge, she's still a prostitute in Moulin Rouge. She's still a
Yeah,
courtesan. So she is performing every night, but she's not really escaped her life on the streets.
yeah.
She's just come into being known as a Sparkling Diamond. So probably now more men want her. Um, so yeah, I completely I agree with you. I think it's like you said, you're in that bubble. Like I've never experienced this. There's one man who wants to give me a house and all this, and he wants to make me live comfortably, and and he just wants my occasional time. And there's another man who, yes, doesn't have any money and is a songwriter, but he's loves me. I think it's this that's what I do like about the show. There's so much open to speculation, and there's
Mm-hmm.
so much open to seeing what happens. I think that's what also like I
And
really enjoy
there's
about it.
so much depth to each character, and like that's why I like doing these deep dives, because it's like there's backstory, there's future stories, but then there's also just so many layers to pick with each character, like especially with Zidler, kind of going back to that. It's like showrunner, kind of the ringmaster of the show on the outside, but on the inside there's so much going on in his life, and
It's
it's
like
just,
a onion, you peel back the
yeah,
layers.
exactly.
Um, yeah, so my next question has has been that's not what I meant to say. So we know that Toulouse loved Satine. We know that because you mentioned that. Um, but and obviously we know Christian loves Satine. Do you think that she's loved anyone, or or do you think like anyone else has loved her? I have a feeling that like there's been men who have come to see her who have probably been like, you know, they've fallen in love with like the idea of her. Or I mean, she's a very beautiful woman.
Sparkling
Um,
diamond.
Sparkling Diamond. I mean, right? So I wonder if there's like if she's ever been in love before Christian. I don't think she has, or if anyone else probably loved her. And I have a feeling it's probably these probably men who she has had come to the Rouge and stuff have probably, like I said, either fallen in love with her or like fallen in love with the idea of her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah. So
Yeah, I think I don't think anybody else had really loved her. Besides I guess Toulouse and Christian, obviously. But I think, yeah, like I think that the men did really, because she's a sparkling diamond. She comes down from a swing, and she's just um this
if
idea
I
in,
come down from a swing, do you think a man will love me?
I mean, in that dress and those boots and that outfit, yeah. uh I love you. But I think that it's just kind of because this is spectacle, and it's kind of the same thing. Just watching the show personally for me, it's like, oh my god, like eyes bugging out, kind of a thing. Because it's just this big idea of sparkling diamond, and like I want her because she's so beautiful, and it's very like it's very physical, and like, not to say that physical attraction, because like, I think that we are attracted physically to people, um, upon first glance, first impressions, but personality also matters. And I think like love is such like a bit like, this is getting a little personal, but I'm not the kind of person who like technically believes that love at first, or believes in love at first sight. I believe in attraction at first sight. I think you can say somebody's attractive upon first glance, but love is such a big emotional term that you really need to get to know a person, know their personality, who they are as a person, before you get to truly loving them, or being in love with them. As far as Satine loving anybody, I don't know if she's definitely. I don't think she's really truly loved romantically, like, like, as we would think, like, relationship wise, as like before Christian. But I think little bits and pieces, because she keeps saying like, um the people at the Rouge are her family, and that is kind of like a different kind of, it's a like love, but it's a different kind of love, if that makes sense. So I think that she might have kind of practiced the idea of love, but doesn't truly understand the concept.
No, I agree. Like I said, people are really easily doing like the whole they're in love with the thought of you, and then they, love, like I said, love is a big thing. Um, that's a good one. That's very good, Lily. Look at you. Um, if Satine didn't die, R.I.P. Satine Weenie, you would have loved therapy. Sorry, that was so off topic. What do you think would happen
Oh my
if she didn't
gosh.
die that night, the opening night of the show? She didn't
Well, she
die.
already
What do
kind of
you
said
think?
the Duke doesn't own her, so and the Duke said, "We'll just see about that." Then we never see about it. Anyways, besides the fact, I I would have liked to think, because that was their opening night. First of all, I would have liked to think that the show was successful, and that people here, people would tell people word of mouth, "Go see this show. It's amazing at the Moulin Rouge." Then it would run for 50 years, and there you have it. I think she'd be with Christian too, because she made it clear that she chose Christian before she died. So,
And then they'd have kids and
and they
go
would live
somewhere safe.
Lima, Ohio.
Oh my God, no, do not go to Lima, Ohio.
They went
I
back
feel
to
like if
Lima.
I think they would go, do you know where I think they would go? I think they would go to England.
Oh yeah,
I think they would
yeah.
have probably gone somewhere like England because it's not far away, but like it's far enough
Mm-hmm.
away. I think they would have gone there and they would have kids, maybe get married, probably. Because Christian didn't care about her like past. Because
He
some
just
men
wanted
would
to love
probably,
her.
and like the
He
Duke
just
probably was
cared
a bit.
about her. Yeah.
Yeah, the Duke was like, "Well, you'll be my mistress because you're a prostitute, and if I can have you be my wife." So Christian didn't care. So I guess they probably would have got married and had kids, and Uncle Toulouse coming over to play with the kids. Um,
I definitely
yeah,
think she, because we always say like, or we always say, um, kids always say like, about raising kids. It's just like, do you take what you were taught, or do you kind of go a different path? And I think for Satine, she probably went a different path, because she's like, I don't want my kids to live like I had to live.
yeah. I do wonder if she didn't die. I wonder if the Moulin Rouge would still be open. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
Maybe
was
they
the
would have
show
gone
run
somewhere.
50 years, Jules?
Wow. Edging on 5 years this year, so only 45 left. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think they would have the whole live happily ever after. I know it's kind of cringe, but like I think they would have. Like I said, I really feel like they would have gone somewhere like I don't think they would have stayed in France. I don't know.
No.
Um, and they would have, because technically Christian is from England. Anyway, who wants to move to Lima, Ohio? I think they would have, yeah, they would have probably like done the whole live out happily ever after, and then probably in the future got consumption and then died. So
Yeah.
give it a few more years so they
Yeah.
can enjoy
Yeah.
their life. And I think maybe the Rouge might have stayed open. Maybe
Yeah,
they got somewhere
possibly.
else. Maybe they found somewhere else to become the sparkling diamond.
Maybe.
Um, but then
I
again,
don't know. I don't
the
know if the
Duke
Duke
pulled
comes
out.
back. I don't know if the Duke comes back at all.
Oh, I think he pulled out. He's just
Yeah, I
like,
think he
yeah,
was just
no.
like, nah. Yeah.
Like the Dukes we've talked to before, James and Andrew kind of like brushes his hands with it, and he's like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know.
And maybe that's why we never see about it.
That's why we never
Never
see
see
about
about
him.
it. No, but I think I don't like do you think the Duke knows that Satine died? I feel like it could have gotten around. Like, did they have newspapers back then?
Yes, I think they did.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I mean, I don't know if that was particularly newsworthy, but
I don't know. Woman dying on opening night of show is probably a bit newsworthy.
opening night of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Woman dead.
I
I bet you he probably did. Like, I bet you
think the
someone,
news would
maybe
travel around
Pierre,
somewhere.
maybe
Pierre,
Pierre.
yeah,
He was a
yeah,
little gossip king, you know.
yeah.
So he probably told him, that hey, she's dead, and he probably was like a little bit like,
Hmm.
damn,
Like, oh, dang.
damn, that sucks. Anyway,
But
no,
then it
I'm
was
kidding.
probably like, okay, whatever.
I
Shrugs
think
his
he probably,
shoulders, you know.
like James said, put on a big dance number and
Oh my God. See, that's
have a
what I want
hissy
to
fit,
see.
have a
That's what
hissy.
that's the Moulin Rouge I want to see. See, that's the thing. The Duke, I agree with the I love the dancing numbers with the jumping and
With the
kicking.
jumping and kicking. I tell you, we need Moulin
Good.
Rouge 2.0, Duke's Revenge.
Jules, we're gonna do that. We're gonna write that. We're gonna
We're
get
gonna write it, and we're
you
gonna
and
get
me and then James. We'll all write it together. That's gonna be
or just all the Dukies. We'll get as
every
many
single one of
Dukies
them.
as we can
As
get.
many yeah.
There's gonna be Dukie's Revenge.
Yeah. We'll get
Moulin
like
Rouge 2.
each Duke is like one scene. They
Hmm.
get one scene to write.
Um, there's a movie and it like I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's the same man, but it's different actors. I can't remember. Is it Talented Mr. Ripley? No, that's not it. I can't remember, but it was Heath Ledger was in it, Johnny Depp, and then some other people, and it was like the same man but different actors. It's really cool. It's gonna be something like that.
Yeah.
Or we just do the one man show. Um,
Yeah.
we're gonna write that. We're gonna write that, you guys. It's gonna be Oscar worthy.
It's gonna
We're
be
gonna
yeah, it's gonna
win
be really
Academy
good.
Awards.
Yeah,
It's gonna run for 50 years as well.
exactly. Yeah. We're gonna win an EGOT off of
Oh my god.
or
Yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna
we're
win
just
the
gonna
we're
win
gonna
that EGOT.
we're gonna yeah, they're like not even gonna they're just gonna be like you win the EGOT. Like you don't even need to like win all the individual awards. We're giving
We're
you the
just
EGOT.
giving you the EGOT.
Watch this space, people. Moulin Rouge 2.0 coming summer 2026. So I need some time to write it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need some time. And we need investors, so and
This
blood-sucking corporate vampires.
where's the Duke when we need an
Wow.
investor?
We need to ask a Duke for investment and maybe we'll send a strongly worded email to the Moulin Rouge production team. Would you please fund Baz Luhrmann? Because I'm
Paz
gonna
Luhrmann on Instagram.
yeah, I'm gonna DM him.
DM him on
I
Instagram.
have this great idea for a second movie, Baz. You had no idea how good it is. Um, yeah, I think we should do. Yeah, we can start writing that tonight.
Oh, I'm crying.
Have you ever seen The Mummy? And you got The
Mm,
Mummy 2, like Mummy's Revenge. So it's good.
no.
You've never seen The Mummy?
No, I know, I know. Doesn't it have Tom Cruise in
Oh
it?
no! Oh my
My God.
goodness, goodness, good. Brendan Fraser, come on. It's
I
so
need to be
good.
cultured. I need to be
Yeah,
cultured.
you do. Have you seen
I'm like
oh
Captain America. I need to be cultured.
have you been to Universal Studios in Orlando?
No.
Okay,
Girl,
I'm
I
gonna
haven't
say a
even been to
different
Disney.
oh overrated. Um
So
there's a
my other
ride
friend
at
in Florida says,
Universal. Um Yeah, any Floridian. You ask any Floridian about Disney, they're like overrated. There's a ride at Universal called Mummy, and it's so good. But no, the Mummy and then Mummy 2 is called like Mummy's Revenge or something like that. Again, don't quote me on it. So it's gonna be like Moulin Rouge and then Moulin Rouge 2, Duke's Revenge.
Yeah.
Please go watch the Mummy now. Because I'm gonna be so disappointed if I have to give you another pop culture reference. Lily, you're killing me here. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, I think that's like that's my Satini Weenie deep dive. I think yeah, she's an interesting character, and I think there's so much more to her as well. And like I said, it's so open. It's such an open book because so
Yeah.
much. And we know that she became the sparkling diamond, and Nini was jealous of her, and um, she
Her outfits also
oh my god,
slay.
her
Every single one of them
outfits. Her
slay.
outfits. Teen's outfits are really, really beautiful.
What's
She
your
has
favorite
some
one?
um it changes all the time. I mean, I love the green berry, but I really love um this is a really fun story. Um but one of my favorite outfits is there is a scene. Remember oh my god. No, I've just gone blank. Okay, rehearsal scene 2.
Yeah.
Right? So she's like, they do all that and
You look
everyone gets on
ridiculous.
stage. You look ridiculous. I'm like, that's horrible.
Let's
That'd
stop
be
as his
awful.
goddamn pet.
Right? I'm like, okay. So basically the scene after that is what we like to call consumption junction. When I say we like to call it, Matt DiCarlo came up with that. The scene so after that, when they're sitting there and he's like the worst theatrical history, like worst. So Matt DiCarlo calls it conjunction. What
Consumption.
conjunction? Consumption junction. I love it.
Oh, it's so
And
good.
she takes off the dress and they put on that black robe with
Yeah.
all like the sequins.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful. I love that.
So
That's
good.
one of my favorites. But there's so many. I
There's
mean,
so
she just
many.
has the best
I
costumes.
love the her crazy rolling through the end. Um,
Mm,
because I love it like it when you're close enough and it's like in the light, you can
mm.
see that it's not just like one color, like it's a conglomerate of like different colors kind of together,
Yeah,
but
that's
they're
a
all
beautiful
dark.
one.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's so
That's a be
pretty.
it's a beautiful one. She has some really nice costumes. And, Zidler, if he had a brain, he would sell her costumes and get some money.
That is
Okay.
true. Where do they get all those diamonds,
Yeah,
And
I
like
also want to know
like
where did he get all these diamonds?
and so I mean thinking that, assuming that they're real.
Well,
When do they get
yes.
all
Yeah, Zidler, where'd you get all these diamonds from, huh?
That's
Another
another
question. Another
question we got for
question.
Ziegler.
Yeah, Zidler, we have a lot
um,
of questions for you. But yeah, so that is our Satine deep dive. If we missed anything, please let us know. Um, yeah. Well,
we got some
Lily,
exciting episodes coming up. We have more
we
deep dives. We have more guests. Um, and we're back. We're back. It felt really weird not recording.
um, I
Past
mean, we're back, but
few
like,
weeks.
I'm missing my European vacation, so I would like to go back to
Oh
Europe.
yeah, no. Jules, you're going
Um,
to New York in April,
Less than a month. I'm going for my birthday.
and
Celebrating my birthday in
then I am
New
going to
York,
my birthday in May, and
right?
Jules is also coming
Doing
again.
my 25th. I'm doing it in the concrete jungle, wet dream tomatoes. Uh sorry,
Yes,
sorry.
so
Yeah, I'm
good.
spending my birthday. Like I'm excited, and then we'll be there in May. And I'm like, Lily was like, I'm going in May, and I was like, fine, I guess I'll
Fine,
go
I
to New
guess I'll
York
go, and I
again.
guess I'll go to the
Fine.
Rouge again. 8 is my lucky number. Um, I'm at 6 right now, so I'm seeing Rouge twice, Friday and Saturday, to get to my lucky number 8.
That's 17. 17. So oh my goodness.
So
My dad
exciting.
my dad really loves talking to me about that. He was like, "Why did you see it twice in London?" I was like, "Do you know what?" I told him, I was like, "You should be happy. I could be addicted to drugs,
That is
except for the fact
true.
I'm actually addicted to Moulin Rouge. You know what? Could be worse."
It's a Broadway musical slash music or drugs.
Yeah, come on, Dad.
You know.
Let's think about this. Use the brain. Um, so now I just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go see some shows on Broadway. He's like, how many of those were Moulin Rouge? None of your business.
I
But
might
yeah.
see I might see the outside. That's my front runner right now is the outsiders. I'm talking to my other two friends and seeing what they want to see, but I'm really gonna pull for the outsiders.
I think I'm gonna do Gatsby. I have to go see Gatsby
See,
because
there's so many good shows out that I'm just like, I really want to see all these shows, but I just don't have the funds for it or the time.
I'm trying to see Sweeney one more time, but because I go the weekend before it closes, but
Yeah.
it's very expensive.
Yeah.
To pay
To
tax.
pay tax.
Uh,
There's so many shows. I would want to see The Notebook, The Outsiders, Gatsby, Cabaret, starting previews, Heart of Rock and Roll.
I can't afford
Um,
cabaret.
how much are tickets to Cabaret?
$500 or $600.
Oh my God. Even though I'm getting a can see it rouge, it's okay. It's fine. It's
So
fine.
much
It's fine.
better
It's
than
my
the
birthday. It's my birthday.
You
I'll be
can.
wearing my sash, tiara. It'll be cute.
There's only so many times I can do can because my neck starts to hurt. I'm like, it's difficult for
Turn it
me.
around.
I know you're like, sorry, let me stretch. Can's also very tight. It's very to
It
many
is
people.
tight.
Make it that man. Make
Yeah.
it.
I do
Yeah,
like the tables though. The tables are cute. Nice.
I haven't booked any of my tickets for next month, so
I
should really
have.
start doing that.
Oh, I mean, I booked my plane and my hotel for May today. Uh, Very excited. Actually, my friend, her name is Maya. I don't know if she listens to this podcast, but if you do, hi Maya. Um, she's coming with me, and she was actually adopted with me by different parents, so we have the same exact adoption day. And she actually lives in Cincinnati.
That's so cute.
We went to the same college, and yeah, so that'll be fun. And then one of my friends from college is coming. She's was in my freshman year dorm, and we bonded over theater. So, but yeah, it'll be really fun.
It will be.
Um,
Always,
I'm very
always have a great time
excited.
in the city. Yeah, I can't wait to see who the new Zidler is.
Yeah, that's true. We've been reminiscing in our new group chat of like the last the mimosas at 5 nap.
Oh my goodness.
It's still the waiter coming out and being like, "Do any of you like
It was
beer?
never ending. It was never
Do
ending.
any of you like beer?" I was like, "We just had 2 mimosas."
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't wait to see who the new Zoodle is going to be. So I hope they announce that soon because I like to know. I want
I
to
would
know.
like to know as well. I would
I
really like to know.
tell me. Um, I'm very impatient when it comes to casting with Miller Rouge.
At
Very
Moulin Rouge on
impatient.
Broadway. Tell us, tell us, tell us.
Tell us, please. Anyway,
That was a really scatterbrained ending, but
yeah,
you know,
we love it. All right, well, we'll be back.
we will be
Episode
back.
12 next week.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll see you again next time.
Peace out, everyone.